These deeper dives feel good when we win, but they feel even better when we blow the other team out of the water. What is up, Thin fans? I am recording this like I usually do late Sunday night, early Monday morning. It depends on what your thoughts on that is. It is 1:30. And this is normally when I do my work. This is normally when I sit down, take a breath, take all my notes, and do a deeper dive into this fantastic win that the Miami Dolphins did against the Cleveland Browns. Should have been 41-17. Fortunately, Sanders, I don't know what's going on with the Sandman. We will talk about that. But first, let's talk about Emmanuel Ogbah. Tore his tricep. He's going to be out for the season. Sucks, right? He wasn't doing that great, but it still definitely sucks. It's the same thing with Liam Eichenberg. It sucks regardless of your thoughts on how they were doing on the season and your thoughts on the player in whole. It sucks to see a Miami Dolphin player go down. So to see Emmanuel Ogbah go down really, really sucks. Hopefully he's all right. Hopefully he can have a speedy recovery, come back next year, get to true form. Just really sucks to see him go down. Next week, or this week, sometime this week, Tua Tagovailoa was mic'd up. He was mic'd up. So I will be doing a live reaction to that. We have obviously a bye coming up, so I have a lot of content planned for you guys that don't involve this week's opponent. Because normally, I do the film breakdown Tuesday, and then, we kind of jump into the next opponent. I got my preview and this and that and blee, blah, bloop. Not this week. We're on a bye. 7-3 on a bye. So I have different content planned for you guys. I think this Friday, I might go live for about an hour. From 6:30 to 7:30, I'm going to go live for about an hour. Bi-week live stream. That's what I'm thinking. Because then next week we go right into and get ready for the Houston Texans. So that's what I'm thinking about that. So in today's video, we're going to deeper dive into the victory. We're going to deeper dive into the Dolphins, where they're at right now on the season. And we're going to watch the post-game locker room video, because there's something that Tua says, and there's something that somebody says to Tua that I find very interesting, and we're just going to touch upon it. Real quick, I do this to myself. This is why I jot notes down, because if I don't jot notes down, I'm going to forget what I want to say. One of you guys on Twitter asked me up, hey, since Emmanuel Ogbah tore his tricep, what's going on with Trey Flowers? Trey Flowers went on IR on October 19th. You can be on IR for a minimum of 4 weeks now, so he's actually available to come back this Wednesday, if that. So it's actually good that we're on a bye. We can get him back. We can get Byron Jones back, hopefully. Austin Jackson hopefully can, get plugged into the offensive line, make it even better than it's already playing. This team is getting into their bye at a perfect time. And absolutely, I think it's the last time a team can go into the bye, week 11. Perfect time for our guys to come back healthy. Got all that news and tidbits out of the way for you. Let's talk about this game, and let's talk about where the Miami Dolphins are right now. They are sitting at 7-3. The last time the Miami Dolphins went 7-3 was the 2001 season. 21 years ago was the last time the Miami Dolphins went 7-3. Do you also know what happened in that season? It was the last time the Dolphins won a playoff game. Is that foretelling our future? I don't know. But the Dolphins right now are sitting at 7-3. The Minnesota Vikings came back. If you watched my post game, you saw me watching and reacting to the Minnesota Vikings game. They came back and beat the Buffalo Bills. Crazy town, because Josh Allen sold and threw another interception. I don't know what's going on with him. I'm not asking, but it's just he threw an interception and he sold it, and because they were marching right down the field. He was running it, and he's my fantasy quarterback, so it hurt me, but I don't care. I don't give a crap. I should have put Justin Fields in. He got me 40 points. I dropped Aaron Rodgers and picked up Justin Fields. He would have got me 40 points. So with Minnesota winning, with Buffalo losing, boop, 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 the Miami Dolphins are now alone first place in the AFC East. Not only alone first place in the AFC East, they are the number 2 seed in the playoffs. So they went from being the 6th seed to now the number 2 seed right behind the Kansas City Chiefs. And I don't know what the situation is, if the Dolphins and the Chiefs have the same record. Do they have Dolphins might have a better conference record that might put them at the number 1 seed? I don't know. But as of right now, if the season ended today, the Miami Dolphins, I think, would be hosting the Chargers. No, the Chargers lost. The Patriots. That'd be a good game. So that's kind of where we're at in that situation, right? I'm going to give you some stats, and then we're going to go and talk about the game a little bit more. Tua Tagovailoa, 2,265 passing yards. That is now tied for 10th in the NFL. And he missed 3 3/4 of football, 2 3/4 of football. Just imagine if he never got injured, where Tua would be at in passing. He's 10th with 2,265 yards, 18 touchdowns. That is 3rd in the NFL. He'd probably be number 1. He got 3 touchdowns the past 3 games. Let's give him another 6. That's 24. You would have 24 touchdowns at this point. Halfway. Are you kidding me right now? I'm pace for 48. 3 interceptions. 18 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. Fantastic. 71% completion percentage. That's 2nd in the NFL. 118.4 passer rating. That is number 1 in the NFL. He is 14-1 the last 15 games he finished, and he is 13-2 in the last 15 games he starts. Man is ridiculous. The first 3 consecutive passer ratings above 135 since November 10th of 2019, who was Lamar Jackson. If the season ended today with Tua Tagovailoa's passer record, it would make him the 3rd highest single-season passer rating behind just Aaron Rodgers in 2020 and Nick Foles in 2013. Tua is having a season to tell everyone to shut the mouths. Oh, Tua can't do it. It doesn't matter if they got Tyreek Hill. Tua's hot garbage. People are still saying this. People are still saying that Tua sucks. Still after all the stuff that he's doing. Oh, he faced the Detroit Lions and he faced the Chicago Bears. Go look at the Chicago Bears pass defense. It's top 5 in the NFL. Oh, but that's because he has Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Tyreek Hill is having a career high game. Tyreek Hill has never had the game of the season he's having with Patrick Mahomes. Kind of seems like, yeah, it's good to have a fantastic wide receiver, but you also want to have a really good, accurate, and quarterback with great anticipation. It's a yin and yang situation. If you know football, you know football. And some people, unfortunately, they don't know football. Let's talk about Tyreek Hill. 1,148 yards. He did not break 100 today. He really wasn't targeted today. The Cleveland Browns were like, we're going to take away Tyreek Hill. And Tua's like, all right, I'm going to throw it to Waddle. I'm going to throw it to Sherfield. I'm going to throw it to Mostert. I'm going to throw it to Ingold. I'm going to throw it to Jeff Wilson. I'm going to throw it to Gesicki. You take away one guy, I got another 6 to throw it to. I don't give a crap. I'll throw it to whoever. They're going to catch it because I throw accurate balls. 1,148 on the season, 1st in the NFL. 4 touchdowns, tied for 5th. Jalen Waddle, 878 yards on the season, 4th in the NFL. 6 touchdowns, tied for 3rd in the NFL. Goose egg on the sacks allowed by this offensive line today. Very happy about that. Did really well with the pass blocking, especially facing Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney. The fact that these guys held up and did not allow a sack. The only sack that there really was the bad snap where Tua just fell on the ball and they touched him. It's considered a sack. But other than that, there was no sacks allowed. Goose egg. You know how many punts today? Goose egg. Goose egg. Morstead had dirty knees, but that's just from him doing extra points and field goals. Speaking of extra points, I don't know what's going on with Sanders. I do not know. Jeff Wilson, 215 yards from scrimmage, 2 touchdowns over the past 10 days since he joined the Miami Dolphins. He has 170 rushing yards as a Miami Dolphin. That's 2 games. And he had 110 today for me. I love the way Jeff Wilson runs. He's the type of running back that just runs through you. So many times he gets contacted and he keeps going. You know what else he's really good at? Pass blocking. You know what else he's really good at? Catching out of the backfield. Love the addition of Jeff Wilson. So in a presser after the game, they asked Tua about the chant, right? If you were at the game, you've heard the chant. They were chanting MVP for Tua Tagovailoa, and they wanted to know his thoughts on it. And he said, "There's no doubt I heard that. I could hear that when it was a TV timeout, when we were walking back into the tunnel. It's flattering, but when we come, what we come to do and what we came to accomplish, it's not accomplished yet. So it'd be cool, but we have bigger goals and aspirations on what we want to do as a team." Plain and simple. It's fantastic to hear MVP chants, and it's fantastic to hear that he's in consideration for MVP. I can't speak on the season, but the Dolphins are 7-3. The Dolphins want to get to the playoffs. They want to win. They want to get to AFC Championship. They want to win. They want to get to the Super Bowl. They want to win. Tua does not give a flip-flap in the flim-flam if he wins MVP. What Tua wants, not he's already got one of these, but he wants a ring. He wants a Super Bowl ring. You know what I want? I want to cry. Because if the Dolphins go to the Super Bowl, I'm going to cry. Even if they just go to the Super Bowl, I'm going to cry. And then if they win, I'm going to cry. And this will all happen live on stream. You will see this grown 35-year-old man in his basement studio in New Jersey cry with my father, who will also be crying if the Dolphins make it to the Super Bowl, let alone win. I will cry. It is what it is. Live stream, DouglieDoWrong, crying. Because I'm a grown man-child. But this Cleveland Browns game was... I said to you guys when I previewed this game, it is a pivotal game because we were going into the bye, but it also could be a season-defining game. And the fact that they listened to me, because the Miami Dolphins watch me. I don't know if they watch me. I don't know if they listen, but they don't listen to me. But they were like, all right, Doug, we're going to drop 39 on them. Should be 41. And we're going to hold them to 17. Dolphins defense plays different at home. You also have to realize something, right? There's always the instant reactions, right? You watch the football games, you have instant reactions. There's some that think the game's over after one series, and there's some that just get like grumpy after certain things don't go certain ways, but realize in their head it's going to be fine. The defense, there was aspects in the defense I honestly think still needs to be better, still needs to be cleaned up. But they played different at home. They held them to 17 points. Besides that run for 30-something, Nick Chubb was stopped. This Dolphin has a top 5 rush defense. No running back really scares me. No team really scares me. And I'm going to talk about that real quick before we watch the post-game locker room. You look at the upcoming schedule, right, after the bye. We're home for the Texans, and same thing with the Cleveland Browns. Don't look past the Texans because you have a hard stretch coming up. The Texans can sneak up and beat you. Ask the Buffalo Bills about the Jaguars last year. Don't look past the Texans. Pierce is a good running back as well. But then you have this hard stretch. You're heading to San Fran. You head into the Chargers. Neither one of those teams scare me. What scares me is the travel. If the Dolphins didn't have to travel to the West Coast, I wouldn't be as scared of these games. The teams don't scare me. It's the traveling that scares me. That's going to define the season, but to me, the game coming up that's going to define the season, that's going to tell us, is this a different Dolphins team? Is this a Dolphins team that is going to contend to get to the AFC Championship? Is this an actual Super Bowl contending team? Is that Buffalo Bills game in December? That's the game that's going to tell me. If the Miami Dolphins can go into Buffalo and beat the Buffalo Bills and sweep them on the season, they're going to win the division. And all of a sudden, look out for this Miami Dolphins team. No one's going to want to play them, especially home in the playoffs. Dolphins play different at home. But not only that, if they go into Buffalo and they're competitive, say they lose by 3, 2, 1, whatever, but they're competitive, then I'm still taking a positive out of that. So this next stretch is going to be very, 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 very interesting. This is where you define your season, right? We had a soft stretch, facing the likes of the Bears, the Lions, the Steelers. The Browns aren't that soft. Even the Bears aren't that soft. They played pretty hard against Detroit. We had a little soft part of our schedule. Now it's going to get tough. And the Packers just beat the Cowboys. So you can't take them for granted either. This is where it gets tough. You got a tough schedule coming up. Win, and you're in. Dolphins control their destiny. So it's going to be real good. Let me scoop-a-doop over. I'm going to pop it up, and we're gonna watch. And again, I got to do it this way. I'm pretty sure it's on their YouTube channel, but also you can go find it on their Twitter. We're going to watch the locker room, and there's something that is said in the locker room I want you guys to hear. So let's play this.
Yeah!
7-3.
So, the list was long, but I thought about it since you guys gave me some time at the end of the game to collect my thoughts. And this is serious. Every single player gets a game ball this game.
Team win.
I'm going to ask you this, and this is a super important moment for our season. I'm going to ask you this. Is the grind worth it? Okay? That's why everyone's getting a game ball, because we did not fall into that. I kind of had a feeling about this squad, okay? I had to call my shot on it, but I had a feeling that you guys were going to empty the tank, and you did. Fellas, this is what it's about. I'm so proud of the captains, the leadership council, and everybody. Enjoy this one. Okay, the point
Look how he's holding that pen.
We were coming after 2022, so it'd be one of those years that you'd remember forever.
I looked at the wrong camera. That's kind of like 2008, right? I will forever remember the season of 2008 and how it started, and the Wildcat, and going to the games, and then that Jet game of the final game of the season, winning it to win the division. I just remember that season, and he wants 2022 to be like that.
Okay, it's week 10, and we're right on our way. Okay, let's keep going, keep grinding. I appreciate the shit out of you guys, and I love you to death. By the way, he won't tell you, but this dude is playing lights the out.
Tua Tagovailoa. Now this is where I want you to listen real quick, because listen to what the players, his teammates, want him to say in the final chant, and listen to what he says.
Hey, we deserve this, fellas. No, family.
I'll play it one more time. Get your respect on 3. And what does he say?
No, family. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Get your his teammates are saying, get your respect on 3. Put your respect on that man's name for what he is doing for the team and shutting people up. And he said, no. Family. We're in this together. It's Tua Tagovailoa for you guys. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow with the film breakdown. But other than that, like usual, stay classy. Fits up.